Hello wherever you are, this is Matt from the Arribatec Training Centre. Welcome back to our YouTube playlist where we are looking at methods for uploading data into Unit4 ERP. We're currently looking at how SQL can be used to insert flexi-field data. In the last videos we found the flexi-field table name and then viewed the data contained within the table using SQL Server Management Studio. Our next job is to use that data in Excel to create a very simple SQL command that we can use to transfer data back into the system. Don't panic, I promise to keep it simple. I hope you find it useful. Let's go. Now that we have our flexi-field table data, the aim is to use that format to create our own SQL coding to insert information back into the table. We need two lines for our insertion command. The first line indicates which columns of the table we are wanting to insert information into, and then the second line indicates which values are being inserted into those columns. The first step is to click in the top corner box, then right click and choose to copy with headers. That way you get the lines of data and the headers of the data. Go into a blank Excel spreadsheet and paste into cell A1. Now we have our data in Excel. The next step is to format the cells. Make sure that date columns are set as date columns so they're in the right format, and we can remove any duplicate lines because we only need one line to indicate the formatting we need. Get rid of any columns we don't want. So here is our final set of columns and an example data line. We are going to be inserting a single line of data into attribute value dmval2. So we can start to amend that example line to show the data that we want to insert. Getting the information from the table allows us to be confident that our formatting is correct because we're copying an existing line. Note that the checkbox, while it gets exported as a 1 or a 0, actually needs to be inserted as true or false. In order to make our SQL command, we first need to merge all of the column names together into one cell and have them each value separated by a comma. We can do this using the TEXTJOIN Excel formula. After entering equals TEXTJOIN, enter the delimiter, which is a comma, in inverted commas, then indicate whether we want to ignore any blank spaces, so we'll enter true, and then highlight the range of text that you want to join. We want to repeat the process for the second line, but some of these values need to be indicated as strings of text rather than numbers or dates. We will eventually need to have these in our code as apostrophes, but if we enter them as apostrophes now, Excel will remove the first apostrophe from each cell. So we'll enter them as inverted commas, and then later on we'll do a find and replace to change them back into apostrophes. Here's a little update since that was recorded. I actually found that if you only have one apostrophe, it's ignored, it's not good. If you have two apostrophes, the first one's ignored and the second one is recognized. So two apostrophes at the beginning of your text is the way to go. And that will mean you don't need to put the speech quotes and then do the replacement later. We can now copy the formula down to the second row, and we've got most of the coding that we require. Let's copy those two lines into a new blank spreadsheet and then add the rest of the coding information to make it a proper SQL command. On our first line, we need to add the SQL command insert into, doesn't have to be in capitals, and then the table name we're going to be putting the data into, which is AFX DMFF group. Then we're going to enclose the column names in brackets. We're also going to add a semicolon at the end to indicate a new command is to follow. On the second row, we're going to enter the command values, and then again put the values that are going to be entered into brackets, and then a last semicolon. Finally, we'll fix the speech marks issue by going to find and replace and replacing all the inverted commas with apostrophes. These two lines make up our full SQL command. So all that's left to do is to copy it and paste it into our SQL application, which is exactly what we're going to do in the next video. As always, thanks for watching.